It is understood that Manchester United fans are really, really frustrated with the turn of events and the way things have happened, and the way the team has played, and just after having building a momentum all through season, having stats like 4 losses in 17 in the last 17, and considering where we've been at and all of that, it is understood that United fans are going to be absolutely frustrated with the turn of events and with the way things have panned out. But yeah, sometimes it's even hard to make content, you know, with the frustration and all of that. Man United lost to Nottingham Forest, 1 goal to nothing, and it's been frustrating. So they've done a league double on Man United, and it's been really, really hard to accept, really hard to take, really hard to kind of like break down. I've been thinking about it before I even like came up with player ratings for the game, and also the 7 takeaways which will have produced, or which we have already kind of curated already, just waiting to be put out. So you'll see it after this one. Well, we're going to bring you the player rating. So welcome to United Talks podcast, where we dive into everything Manchester United. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. So now with the player ratings, first and foremost, Manchester United lost in the most annoying fashion to Nottingham Forest after conceding a goal after 5 minutes. It was the most annoying way to. I mean, we considered the goal, and you kind of had that feeling that we would score. But considering that Nottingham Forest have 13 clean sheets, I think 14 now in the Premier League, it's like there's also a stat that they've struggled against team in the top half of the table, against teams in the top half of the table, but they've also kind of had a good run against teams in the bottom half. And it's sad to say and sad to hear and see that Man United is one of the teams in the bottom half table, and we're 13th. Yeah, how are the mighty fallen, basically? And there was this one I stated yesterday in match review. There was this one that Ruben Amorim took over Manchester United in November at 13th, and so many games down the line, Man United are still 13th. So have we made progress? So there's frustration everywhere. Everybody's frustrated. Fans are reacting. Content creators are reacting and dropping bombs left, right, and center, talking about like everybody and kind of like just giving their own opinions and stuff. And sometimes you tend to forget the positives and always focus on the negatives. I've seen fans online blame Alejandro Garnacho for the failings. I saw one article from a reputable content creator on YouTube, one of the big ones on YouTube, Man United content creator, released an article stating that Nuzuma Mazarawi was at fault for the goal because of his indecisiveness. You see stuff like that, and you just shake your head because you're just looking for who to blame. Everybody is to blame. The whole team is to blame. If we didn't defend well, if we defended well after the corner, we wouldn't have been scored on. Then we'll probably be talking about a frustrating nil-nil draw because we pressed and we took most part of the game with regards to ball possession and all that. And we'll start talking about players that had horrible games and all of that. So, I mean, it's crazy. Basically, for Nottingham Forest, I think they were missing 2 players, 2 key players, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Chris Wood. So it was expected that okay, their best scorer is out, so we should have the advantage. And then they had to find a goal from somewhere, and it had to be as if it was written in the scripts already, an ex-Man United player. And now everybody's starting to compare, oh, Garnacho versus Elanga, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to give my opinion on that because everybody knows that I loved Anthony Elanga when he was here. But the truth is, you look at it, the Elanga that left Man United is not the same Elanga that played against Man United. The Elanga that left Man United was young. He was being overplayed. He had a whole lot on top of his shoulder. Playing for Man United was a big deal. And the Elanga that is at Nottingham Forest is free. He doesn't have the weight of playing for Man United. He is scoring, he is creating assists, and he is consistently playing. So when he was playing for Man United, fans were slagging him, saying stuff like, "Oh, why are we playing him? We're overplaying him. This, and that." Now we've sold him. Fans are saying, "Oh, why did we sell him?" and all that, revisionism and all that. But that's not the reason why we're doing this video, because I've just kind of ranted for 5 minutes. So, player ratings, basically. With the player ratings, we're gonna go, first of all, talk about the stats of the game, basically, with just basic stats. We finished the game with a 68% ball possession to Nottingham Forest 32, and it was about this percentage all through the game. Considered a goal in the fifth minute. Since then, we had scored. We had 23 shots, six on target, and three big chances created with three big chances missed. With about 558 passes, that's 86% pass accuracy, amongst other things. Finished the game with an expected goals of 1.63 and an expected open goals open play XG of 1.36 and an XG set play of 0.29 and a non-penalty XG of 1.63. So we should have had the opportunity to score and win the game. Now, speaking of player ratings for Man United players with regards to the game, we have Ingo, Andre Onana, he had nothing to do. They didn't have much. It's just based off of the eye test without stats and stuff. They have much to do. Was passing and all of that. Was involved in gameplay, but when it came to anything that has to do with saves, he didn't have so much to do. He had just one save all game. Was considered the one goal and all of that. And today's his birthday, by the way. Considered the one goal and all of that. And I don't know what to say about Andrew Nana because right now it seems like everybody has given up on the player. Everybody is like, you know what, we're done. But it is what it is. The next player on our list, apart from Andre Onana, is Matthias de Ligt. Very cool game, very okay game. Was involved in most of the things, even though he twisted his ankle at some point, he still played till the end. He gets a 7.5 from me. 7.5 from me. Good game. There was no like lapses in defense for him. It was just that one time where I think how the goal came about is we crossed the ball. Bruno crossed the ball, came in. The ball was nodded out or headed out towards Bruno's side on the right side of the field from the Man United's left side. And then Bruno tried to cross it back by just hitting the ball into the in the air, and then it was headed out again by a Forest player, and then it fell to Anthony Elanga, who ran for 86 meters, being chased down by Nuzi Mazarawi, Patrick Dogu, Alejandro Garnacho, and still he scored. So the way he scored that goal, maybe I thought probably Mazarawi could have brought him down, maybe for fear of red card, didn't bring him down. But Garnacho could have brought him down. I don't know why Garnacho slid early. Dogu caught up, but it was already too late. And then I think Andrew Nana could have also done something, probably come out and close down the angle, but he was already too far into the net. And if he came out, probably would have still been scored again. So why don't you just take the risk? You're doomed if you do, you're doomed if you don't. So everybody was at fault in that. Now, with regards to Lenny Euro as well. He has a 7.5 rating from me for his play. He played 88 minutes and then was subbed off for Maguire and for Maguire so that we can have the next run of play to be, just be crossing the ball into the box. He had 89 touches in the game. 11 passes into the final third was one of our threats when it comes to making the game fast and raising the floor of the field. And I see a situation where Lenny Yoro, Matthias De Ligt, and Eden Heaven will be our back three because we have left-footed Eden Heaven and he won't have to struggle even with the pace and all that when he's back. And Lenny Yoro too with the pace as well as Matthias De Ligt with his tenacity and command from the back. So it is what it is. So Lenny Yoro gets a 7.5. Mazarawi gets an 8.0. Like unfailingly, he had the most tackles in the game, 5 in the match, and he lost most duels because obviously um Nottingham Forest were very aggressive, but then I think Ruben Amorim understood what was going on and then moved Mazraoui to the other side and brought Lenioro, who also took charge of things on the other side. So on the left side of things, he had 93 touches in the game and he lost most of his duels. So yeah, but he still gets an 8.0 because he put in a good performance defensively as well. Was dribble past the most, I think, in the game, if I remember correctly. But I still feel 8.0 because one game cannot just be the defining factor for a player's performance. He has been performing at peak levels even when he was fasting. And if you fast, you would understand what it means to fast and still be able to play at peak levels, to be able to run down flanks at peak levels in the times when Man United were doing well or struggling or something. So, yeah, Masraoui gets an 8.0 for this game based on performance. Patrick Dogu, for the sake of performance, 7.0 because of certain things that were happening. And maybe it's all due to Alejandro Garnacho playing on his side. But for the first half performance and his tenacity in defense and his ability to try as much as possible to want to cross the ball in, 7.0 from me for the game. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And then for Casemiro in one of these, he played 59 minutes and was hooked at the 59th minute because of the fact that he could potentially get a red card. So he gets a 6.5 from me. He was playing well, was linking those passes, but I think he was a bit too quick and rushed in his response and stuff. So probably going to get a 6.5 from me. And Manuel Ugarte had a horrible first half. He gets a 6.0 from me. Horrible first half, was doing much, but was largely ineffective. Was defending, was aggressive, but the issue with Forest's game was that they choked that midfield, they choked that middle part of the field with Anderson and Yates, who was quick with performing all these tactics and his theatrics in the nonsense of diving and falling to the ground as many times as possible and talking trash. But then it is what it is. 6.0 for Manuel Ugarte. And then we have Diogo Dalot doing Diogo Dalot things. 7.5. Was not crossing the ball. Was having issues with the ball. 7.0 for Diogo Dalot. 7.0 for Diogo Dalot. He, yeah, he hit the woodwork. Yeah, quite all right. And he had one shot, and that was that one in that he hit the whole woodwork. If we were to go by the number of touches he had in the game, he played the whole 90 minutes and he had 99 touches in the game. So basically 57% ground duels won and 50% aerial duels won. So Diogo gets 7.0 from me, not a 7.5. Then we have Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho was playing and trying to play for himself instead of playing for the team. Got a yellow card in the process of kicking the ball away instead of passing the ball. And he seemed to not be on the same wavelength with Patrick Dogu. So Garnacho gets a 6.5. Poor performance. Was trying to force things instead of trying to involve everybody. Dogu would bust his gut and play down the flanks, and Garnacho would ignore. Ignore. He would also ignore Xerxes at some point. Ignore, like trying to find instead of trying to pass the ball, he was shooting at different times. So Garnacho gets a 6.5 from me. Bruno Fernandes gets an 8.0 from me. Was trying to make things happen. He played in the holding. I mean in the 210 position up top as the attacking mid, and then was moved back into the mid. We still had control. We lost control for a bit because of Casemiro. Then when Ericsson came in, we lost a bit of control again. And then Bruno took the control, was trying to create things, was trying to make things happen, was trying to pass the ball, dictate game, but he was also visibly frustrated. So Bruno Fernandes gets an 8.0 from me. Not a good performance today, but it's a whole team thing, not a Bruno thing. But it is what it is. Then we have Joshua Zexi gets a 6.5 from me. Poor game as well, largely ineffective. Was brought back into midfield, was trying to make things happen, then eventually got hooked at the 70th minute. So, yeah, Joshua Zexi 6.5. Rasmus Højlund, 6.5. Didn't really make anything happen, was largely ineffective as well, was not involved in as much going forward. He tried to make one chance, I think. And then if we look at his stats, he played 45 minutes, came on in the second half. He had 90% of of passes accurate, created one chance. That was the one chance where he dribbled down the byline of the right side of Nottingham Forest side, which is on the left of Man United. And he had 16 touches all game, second half, 6.5 rating. Touches in the position box, at least he had five, and all of that. So Rasmus Højlund, that's it. And then the next on our list is Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen played 59, came on in the 59th minute. I think he came on for Joshua Xerxes, I think. Or no, he came on for Casemiro, 59 minutes, came on Casemiro. And Christian Eriksen played, yeah, for me, my rating for Christian Eriksen will be 6.5, basically. He played well, tried to snatch control back when Forest felt like they had control, but, he played well in that 31 minutes. Accurate passes, 26 of 27, which is 96%. He had 35 touches in that half. He had one in five accurate crosses, and that was where my issue with Christian Eriksen was. My issue with him was those crosses because Forest were defending zonally, so zonal marking in defense when it comes to corner kicks or set pieces. But Christian Eriksen kept having horrible crosses into the box from corner kicks and also I don't know. And then accurate long balls, he had one of one, which is 100%. And then in all four corners, he didn't play good balls into the box except for one. And then for recoveries, he had four recoveries. He was dribbled past once. He had one defensive action. He lost two duels, and he didn't win any ground duel. 0-2 aerial duels. He didn't involve in any one. So basically, Christian Eriksen gets a 6.5 rating from me. Mason Mount, 6.0, almost largely ineffective as well. Was involved in some things, but and then had that one shot that was kind of on target. It was off target basically. He had three of five accurate passes, and he basically, was not involved in anything. One-on-one aerial duels one, total duels one was one, so which is 100. So basically, Mason Mount 6.0, nothing to report. Same, Harry Maguire, nothing to report. He played from the 88th minute. We had multiple chances. I think he had two or three chances and all of that. And that was the end. So it's very important, we as Man United fans to see the context in this. And we have tough games ahead, including Man City, Bournemouth, and Brighton. These are tough games ahead. We have Olympique Lyon and all of that. So we as Man United fans need to hold ourselves accountable and hold our team accountable. Nottingham Forest played like a team that was mid-table, and we played like a team that was in the top half, but then couldn't finish our chances. And then the better team, the team that had the opportunity, took it in transition and won. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this one. Overall team rating for this game 6.5 because of the whole team effort. Overall team rating 6.5, and then manager rating 6.5 as well. Where I felt Amorim with regards to his subs was basically he should have taken Casemiro at halftime if he wanted, taking Casemiro off, left Manuel Ugarte, and then if you wanted to change, you could have basically brought on Christian Eriksen for Casemiro instead of taking off Ugarte the first. But it is what it is. Maybe Ugarte was tired. Maybe it was the last training, but we had 16 days, right? Since we last played, and he had about a week since they came back. So it is what it is. What I could have suggested was probably not just start Bruno and Garnacho up top because he made us look disjointed a little bit. They have just done what he was always doing. Xerxes, Garnacho as the two tens, Bruno, Gatti as the starting holding pivot, and then you start Rasmus. He's on form already, Start him anyway. And then along the line, you make the changes and then change the dynamic of the game. Because the moment Nottingham Forest went to a back three or back five, as the case may be, and they were defending with six players with Ryan Yates coming into the middle of the back five, then we couldn't score against them. And they were literally just defending the whole game in a low block. And it was hard for us to break that low block. So it is what it is. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. I'll see you when we do the 7 takeaways. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.